Ready? Let's call this meeting of the Golf Commission to order. First item of business is review and approval of the prior meeting's minutes. Do I have a motion?
I'll
I
motion it.
will. Oh, go ahead.
Second, any discussion, changes, comments, etc.?
Hold on one second, make sure, because we have both to vote on. So we're voting on February 22nd first, okay?
Oh, we have to do two.
Yeah, we have the March 22nd, so make sure you're voting on the February 22nd.
Oh, okay. So which one are we voting on? The regular meeting.
Yeah, February 22nd.
Any comments? No. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. We have to vote on the March 11th meeting?
Yep,
Oh,
Hmm.
okay.
I move.
Diane moves,
A second.
Frank seconds. Any comments, discussion, etc.? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you. Thank you for keeping us on track, Christine. Audience participation. Is there audience out there?
If there's any member of the public who would like to speak, you
Any
can
members
press
of the
the
public?
raise hand button at the bottom of your screen. If you're on the phone, you can press star 9.
I don't see anybody. Oh, no, attending. Any member of the public wish to speak? It would appear not. Okay, we'll move on. Paul, you're up.
All right. Hello, everyone. Pretty much on the course right now. It's buttoning up winter projects. The tree work finished. The creek restoration is finished for this year. Stone walls on 5 and 6 are clear and awaiting seed when the soil temperature warms up enough. The clubhouse and maintenance shop refurbishing is still ongoing and probably will be ongoing forever. We have some work left to do at the clubhouse that we're going to be taking bits and pieces of as the season goes on. Our equipment is in rough shape. As you know, we were on the course all winter doing projects, and nobody was really servicing the machines or servicing them to the degree they needed to be done. So going forward, we're going to focus more on the essentials, prioritize our equipment versus projects. We're going to try to squeeze a lot of love into these machines in a short amount of time, get everything going for the season. But we'll be all right. We'll be ready for when we open, and when things start growing, we'll be able to mow. We have parts on order. Things are coming, so we should be fine in that regard. The only thing we really need right now is practice green flag sticks, cups. They were thrown away last year, and pretty much all the parts for most things and accessories are on back order because everybody has bought everything all winter during their winter service and winter orders. So we're just waiting to get that. So if any golfers are watching, bear with us for a little bit. We'll get everything we need. We just need a little time. Yeah, any questions?
Any questions?
No.
Okay, thank you, Paul.
Yep.
Frank, you have a report?
Yes, a very short and brief one. We moved our March 10th meeting to the 17th due to Commissioner Daly getting her vaccine. Sorry. So we ended up canceling the meeting on the 17th. But me and Commissioner Evans went out there and toured the Knowles and Glen courses, reviewing all the winter projects and the areas in need of attention before opening. And we talked to some of the staff and some of the projects they were doing, and we were very happy with their progress.
Okay. Any questions of Frank? All right, let's move right along. Bobby, Director of Golf.
Mute myself. All right, there you go. I'm better. Hey, everybody. Last couple of weeks have been pretty crazy. It's obviously the weather is breaking faster than we expected. With that being said, I want to first give an update on where we are with the computer system, and then talk about when we should open the golf course for the 2021 season. Right now, the computer system is, credit card machines came in, I believe, last Thursday or Friday. We got them installed. Everything seems to be working okay. We are still checking to see to make sure they were programmed not to accept American Express because that's our policy. Christine was checking on that today. The system, Mitchell and I have been working on it. It looks pretty good. We're still finding a few things here and there. I have renewed some IDs. That seems to be working along pretty well. And I feel pretty confident that we'll be ready to go in a few days with regular golf. People are very excited. They want to get out there. Obviously, the weather has a lot to do with that. The driving range has been open for over a week or so. Really hasn't closed since last year. It's been open all winter. So people are using it. There's a lot of action up there on the putting greens. And the question is when we're opening. With that being said, I spoke with Paul today. I want him to be very honest with me and to make sure that the staff's ready. I think they're probably more ready than we are. But with that being said, I'm hoping that we could try to open on Thursday. That's in 3 days. With probably, I'm guesstimating a 9:30 start, just tee times. The plan would be this, if you guys are in agreement with this. Starting tomorrow, Mitchell would email all the residents and all the people that are in our system to instruct them how to go about activating their 4UP online tee time their password. We'll give them instructions how to do that. So give them a day to renew, to get their stuff up and running, and then make the first tee time available to book on Friday morning at 5:30 a.m. So that would basically allow them a day to get their tee time, their online situations fixed, and probably take a lot of phone calls tomorrow. And then beginning Wednesday morning, 5:30 a.m., they would be able to have access to book tee times for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and the next Wednesday. So I feel like we'll be, ready to go. Let's rip the Band-Aid off and see how we do. So that's the plan that I have. I think, Paul, you can speak for yourself. I feel pretty confident after speaking with Paul today that the golf course will be ready to go. I mean, I know Owen toured the course today. We still have some geese poop out there that they have blown some off, but we have more to do. But just the normal springtime stuff. Paul, do you have anything to add for that?
No, I'm fine with Thursday. I mean, we'll probably tomorrow go out and just roll greens and Thursday morning cut cups and see what the weather holds. But yeah, really it's just cleanup. But I mean, it's almost helpful to have the golfers out there because it keeps the geese away. So less geese poop. But yeah, it's just the guys are out there every day blowing, doing cleanup and stuff. So I'm fine whenever you're ready to go.
Okay. Good by me. I mean, we don't need to vote on this, do we? Do anybody have any
I just
problem
wanna
with
see it.
Bobby's plan?
Yeah, my thing was like if Frank or Owen or Shelley, the Greens Committee, have any objections or see anything out there that, I mean, the main thing we stress is safety. There's a few things we still got to button up, but I think it's very minimal. The course looks pretty clean. I know it's never up to where I want it to be pristine, but again, it's pretty solid. And I know the guys worked at the Glen today, so the plan is to open all 27 holes And with golf carts, I spoke to Teddy this morning. We originally had guys planned to start working on Saturday because that was potentially going to be the day that we might be ready to go. So he'll have to do some scrambling to get guys coverage for Thursday and Friday. And I did speak to Dominic today. He was not too happy with me. And I told him, I said, Dom, if you can't open, no problem. I mean, it's quicker than what I expected. So he said, let me think about it. So he's working on his end. And the good thing is Dom did have a wedding this weekend, Saturday. So that was the first one in over a year. So you
Great.
guys knew that. He had a 60-person wedding on Saturday, and it seemed like it went off without a flaw. It was indoors. People were wearing masks. It was great. It was a good day.
Paul, I know we're expecting rain on Wednesday, and I know that it's finally heating up at night, but still some cold temperatures. How is the drainage? Will it be a swamp out there, or will carts be available, or?
I think it's only supposed to be like a third or a quarter inch of rain on Wednesday, and it's pretty dry out there. I think the eastern part of our state is like almost in a drought, so I wouldn't worry about any swampy conditions. I think it'll take it fine.
All right, I didn't know about the thaw, there's
Yeah, no,
moisture
everything.
coming that way.
I think everything's pretty much thawed out, and it's definitely dry out there. Like everything's firm, so I really wouldn't. I would be very surprised if there was any drainage issues.
Mhm. And as you said, play wouldn't get in the way of your workers finishing up, or?
No, I think I think they made great progress. I think it's just a few more spots and just doing they start in the fairways and push everything to the rough. So I think for the most part it's out of play. They're gonna keep after it the next couple of days, and we're just gonna do certain things that we'll try to do beforehand, like cleaning up edges of the cart paths and things like that. But I don't think it'll impact us too much. I think we'll be all right.
Very good, thank you.
All right. Sounds good to me, and probably sounds good to everybody. So go for it, Bobby.
Okay.
Thank
Continuing on, I just have another, the CSGA reached out to me, and I'm sure many other golf courses, about a new youth on course program. And I can forward all the details to all the commissioners. I just want you guys to be aware of this. The CSGA, or the National Golf Course Owners Association, and the LPGA Girls Golf Program, this initiative is to get kids on the golf course. The kids will have to sign up through the CSGA, and all they pay is $5 at the course. The CSGA, for every kid that comes, say that if we did do it, every kid that came to Tasker to play at this program, the CSGA would reimburse us between $5 and $7 per kid. I didn't know if that's something that you guys, I want you to think about, get involved in with this initiative that's going on. We can set stipulations, restrictions, play with a paying adult. So we can do any different things, but I think it's something that I like the idea. It's a great initiative that's going across the country with all the state associations. And the way that we get reimbursed for the fee is every junior that would pay the $5. They have a special access card because they have to be registered with the CSGA. The golf course, or me, I would have to submit in the portal, the CSGA portal, of who played and when. And that's how they would keep track of how much money to send the golf course, in addition to the $5 the kids pay themselves. So that's something that I'll just look in your inbox. I'll forward you the CSGA letter and see what you guys think about that. And maybe we can talk about next meeting or something.
Okay. All right. Very good. Anything else?
Nope. Ready to go.
Any questions of Bobby? Huh?
No, I just want to say thanks. That CSGA program sounds like a great idea, because the course I grew up playing as a kid, I go back at least once a year to play because, nostalgia, the place you learned, and it'll bring future customers and players to the game. Thank you.
Okay. Tony's not here. He submitted a report. I don't know if you've taken the time to look at it. He's taking care of a lot of little things. That's my summary of, and some of them are medium things, actually. So he is fully engaged and has been a real asset in getting some of these things taken care of. Christine, you have anything you want to add to any of Tony's list here that needs special attention?
Yeah, I'm going to be quick. First of all, I would like to thank Bill Chin and the town's IT department because they have been a tremendous help to us in getting our equipment, our phones, our computers, and all that. And they're under as much pressure as all of us are, and they reacted and got us everything we needed. So we appreciate that. The only thing that needs a little bit of updating is the fire sprinkler problem on the porch ceiling. They did come in and they did measure the sprinklers and they're on order. They did find, however, that the pipes that we have leading to the sprinklers are 3/4 of an inch, and code now is 1 inch. And they did not know that before they showed up. So the sprinkler company has agreed to replace all of the lines with 1-inch lines for the same quote that they gave us to do the whole project. So that's pretty good news for us. The bad news is it looks like that whole faux ceiling will have to come down. Tony's aware of it, and we are looking into options as soon as he gets back as to what we're going to do with that ceiling. The other question that's come up is, you know, why do we have sprinklers on an outdoor porch, and have we checked with the fire marshal's office? And yes, we have. These sprinklers unfortunately have frozen before, and we ask the question every time. I believe it has something to do with the way that the roof is constructed, in that that porch was an addition, and it was actually, the wall to the actual clubhouse goes all the way up, and you cannot access the wall or the roof above that porch at all. And I believe that is why it needs sprinklers. So yes, they are a problem, but hopefully, yes, they get fixed and we figure out something for the ceiling. And like Don said, the vast majority of the important projects have been completed. A couple of minor nagging problems, and Tony is well aware of them and working on them. So I think we're doing good in that area too.
Okay. Anybody have any questions on Tony's report? All right, I don't see Dominic present. Oh, I will mention, we did receive a third quote on the roof. This came in less, came in $60-something thousand for Dominic's portion of it. And our portion was in the area of $20,000. So we have 3 quotes. That doesn't mean that these are what this job was actually put out for quotes and bids, but it was to give us an idea of the cost involved. We met with George Estrada. He was out there with me and Dimitri the other day. A claims adjuster was there and basically told us that insurance wouldn't cover that type of damage on the roof. But it's still in their hand, the town's hands, as to recommending to us or how we're going to proceed. So it's still, every month, it's kind of the same report, but it's still in limbo. We just have to wait and see. Finance Committee, Joe.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to take my report slightly out of order. I'm going to cover the audit first and then go into the expenses. In the audit, the line that we all want to kind of pay attention to is the second line from the bottom, which is net position unrestricted. That came in at $830,000. That net position unrestricted is what we call our retained earnings. So that was at $1,077,000 last year. And the biggest difference was the town did an accounting adjustment, and you'll see a line item called deferred charges on refunding. That's actually our bond principal payment being deducted directly out of our retained earnings. Now, to give everyone kind of hope and guidance for the future, we always talked that there was going to be a dip in our retained earnings because of COVID shutdown. And this is that dip that we saw. So this ended July 1st of this year, which we had been closed for all of May and half of April. So this was that dip in income that we saw. We expect next year to be kind of replenished in that account. So it is concerning, and we do have that goal of having $1 million in that account, but overall it will smooth out over the long term. Any questions on the audit?
Can I just add that 204,000 had been in a different category in other years. So if you're so it didn't count against our retained earnings in past years. This year, it was moved to this new account, deferred charge on refunding, and taken away. So if you're comparing apples to apples, last year we had $1,077,000. If you put that $204,000 into the 838, it becomes $1,035,000. So apples to apples, we had a drop of $42,000. So the loss was not, we didn't lose $240,000. We lost $40,000 operationally. And then this $200,000 was moved to a new category such that it worked against our net position unrestricted. Okay?
Go ahead, Frank.
You said it was in another account. Where was it and how was that paid out then?
Previously, it was in bonds payable. And basically the way it used to work was you'd have your assets, which were what we earned over the year, minus your liabilities, and anything else would be retained earnings. Now the town has switched, so it's your assets minus liabilities, and your basically goes to retained earnings, and then this account is subtracted from our retained earnings. So it's just one way or the other, but it all balances out in the end.
We were paying it before and we're still paying it. It's just out of a different account.
Yeah, it makes it look a lot less than what it actually is.
I didn't know if it was a new charge to us.
It's not a new charge.
No.
It's just moved to a new box. Just like the bunker project was moved 4 or 5 years ago against our retained earnings, where previously it hadn't been. The auditor made the change at that time. So retained earnings went down $300-something thousand because of the accounting change. They've done the same thing this year. So now all of our debt counts against our net position unrestricted, which is logical. It's when you say what are you worth? It's what you have, less what you owe. So, we basically lost $40,000 last year in our financial position.
Any other questions on the audit or anything? All right. If not, I'll move on to expenses, which is the first of my slides. The biggest change here was we reallocated $10,000 from materials and supplies to program supplies. So those two accounts, we were questioning why materials and supplies was so low. $10,000 had to be reallocated. Now, that being said, there's currently $32,000 in invoices, which we're discussing with vendors because they're currently due. So our program supplies is down to around $3,000 unrestricted, and then $6,000 in encumbered funds. I think that's going to be very tough for our grounds crew to keep the course maintained through July. So my motion, and I'd like to address this motion today, is to move $5,500 from contract services for the Very Drain project, $5,800 from the pond vegetation project, and $6,500 from the cart paving maintenance project, and reallocate those funds to programs or hold on, what was the maintenance, whichever the grounds crew needs more of. And the reason I want to have this motion tonight is we have to go before the Board of Finance and probably before the town council to get this approved. So it's probably going to be a month before the money gets transferred anyways. So these projects, Paul, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but we're not going to get to them by July 1. And that's just money that is not going to be used and could be
Yeah.
used if we don't transfer it.
Yeah, the verter drain is December, and the pond vegetation, I don't think we did. We just applied a chemical last year, and the cart path paving, it's I don't know logistically what you could do with everyone playing and all that. So it would be helpful for programs because that money will go real quick. If you have a warm, hot June, in terms of fungicide use and all that. So, yeah.
So Joe, are you asking for a motion for this?
Yes, so I am asking for a motion and a vote so I can go before the Board of Finance and transfer these funds.
I'll make the
Okay,
motion
I
to move the
move-
amount that Joe stated, and Diana second, I assume.
Frank,
Go
you
for it,
stepped
Frank.
on- you stepped on Diane's motion. Dan,
She's-
come on.
Oh,
All right, Diane, you can second it.
It's fine.
Frank, Joe, is that enough? I mean, as long as we're gonna go, are we gonna?
It's the easiest grab that we can make right now, and it should, Paul, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but it should be able to be stretched until July 1 when we get a new.
Yeah,
cash.
yeah. I mean, we have, you know, pretty much what we need. It's just if something happens, we'd be in trouble, like, you know, weather-wise or insect-wise, something like that. But it would be nice to have just in case, you know, cushion programs. Better be safe than sorry kind of thing.
Okay,
Joe, did you look at professional development? Because the shows and educations are mostly over, the exception of maybe a pop-up here and there. And I see $1,000 in there as well.
So I can answer that for you. There probably are accounts that there are $1,000 here or there. I think at this point of where we are having, this is about $17,800 that is easily, well, not easily, none of it's easy, but it's off the bats and projects we absolutely know are not going to go forward. The rest of them, some of our other accounts are kind of, you know, higher. Maintenance services is higher than it probably should be. So those $1,000 things here and there, we're not really looking to go quite that low yet. We're gonna have to do it later, but this is the easiest identifiable.
It's the low hanging fruit.
Yeah, well, this is $2,450 that nobody's meeting in conferences this year.
Bobby has a reimbursement of one coming, so.
Okay,
And
so they're not up to date yet. Okay, if it was
no,
up to
and
date,
Paul's
then,
staff can still, there's still some money for Paul's staff that he can go, should he choose to. So, yeah, trust me, I've looked at every account, top to bottom, sideways and around, so.
Christine, do you have the motion? You can repeat it for us? Do we know?
I do, it is transferring $5,000 $5,500 from, the drain, 5,800 from pond, 5,500 from carts and paving. Those are maintenance, 500 program and or maintenance account.
Okay,
You were breaking up very badly. Could you repeat those again?
Okay, so we're moving 5,500 from Verta drain, 5,800 from pond maintenance, 6,500 from cart path paving. Those are in service accounts. And we're gonna move that amount. I'm gonna meet with Paul to determine whether we're gonna go, what percentage of each is gonna go into program and maintenance. So all that money, $17,800 will be transferred into programs and or maintenance.
okay.
So
Thank
moved.
you. That was much clearer.
All in favor, we have the motion and Diane seconded it. So all in favor? Opposed? Abstained? Motion carried. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you all.
You have anything else for us?
That's it. Let's open up and get money flowing in.
Attaboy. Diane, do you have anything for us at this time? You're on.
No, not since last meeting, no.
Okay, moving on, correspondence. What do we have?
I'm nothing.
Okay, no correspondence. Old business, new golf carts. Joe,
Everything's done. We should take delivery, what, first week of April, Bobby?
Yeah, first or second week of April.
okay.
Yeah. It's-
we're
it's-
good
it
to
should be
go.
decent.
We got the signature on the proper line and everything. For the
I just wanted
record,
to get-
Bobby, yes or no? You can't shake your head one by the other. It's yes or, for the record. Yes, we're good. Thank you.
Yes, to our knowledge, it is on the correct line, on the correct page of the correct document.
Excellent, excellent. Advanced tea time reservation policy, Tom?
So, yeah, just to update everybody, the committee met on March 15th to discuss the feasibility of making a change to the system that we voted in at the last commission meeting that would allow residents or non-residents who potentially bought into a resident position, allow them a time period in advance of non-residents when booking tea times. And making a change to the programming of the system to be able to do that. It can be done, and although most of the commissioners felt that that we need to at some point address that and make that a policy, we thought that it was too late in the game at this point for the upcoming season to try to do that from the standpoint that we were so close to opening. Also, there was a lot of challenges just implementing the system as voted on. So I think we thought that we were going to continue to take a look at the feasibility of it, but not do anything at this time. So that's where that went on the 15th.
Okay, good.
I have a question. Tom, your report, if I remember correctly, said that you would put this off until studying it later. Because it is complex, why would we wait? Why wouldn't we do it at our leisure? I'm not saying rush into it. I'm not saying changing anything this year, but why put it off till later when it can be discussed and some thought and planning done earlier?
Yeah, I think that, most of the commissioners felt that it was something that we would not want to make a change mid-season. I, for one, wasn't one of those. I think we should continue to look at it, but I don't want to go down a path of taking a vote on something that doesn't pass and then maybe potentially not being able to vote on it again for another year. I would want to have it. I'll continue to look at how difficult this would be and what challenges would come out of it if we did make a mid-season change. But most of the commissioners at that meeting felt that it wasn't the right time to do this. So,
I'm not suggesting changing this year. I'm suggesting, if I read your report correctly, that you wouldn't spend time in the next few months, maybe studying it to prepare for next year.
No,
oh, no, we are definitely we're gonna be studying it. We're gonna be
we're gonna study.
tracking better, more. The new system will allow us to track better the differences between non-residents and residents and who's booking, and potentially how much monetary cost there could be if we go to a system that gives residents an advantage over non-residents. We're going to keep track of all that. We're not going to, it's not, I guess the way to put it is, we're not shelving this idea of continuing to look at the feasibility of it, but I don't think there's really much of a chance that it's going to happen for this season. And we're going to continue to look at it, unless one of the other, Shelley, is there anything else you would like to add to that?
No, I think what we want to do is just get the system up and running smoothly, have a little bit of history behind what's going on. And we are going to continue to meet and then readdress it, but to readdress it when we're just trying to open it up, we didn't feel that we had enough questions answered. And we wanted it to go smoothly to start. So it's not going away. We're continuing. And if we could do it mid-season, I don't see any reason not to, but we just felt that we were opening up within 2 or 3 weeks, and it was too soon to open up with a new system and not have everything thought out and done smoothly for the public. We don't want any confusion. There'd be a lot of confusion, I think, initially too with that. So get the system up and running, get people comfortable with it. And then if we feel like we can make the change, then we vote and make it. Does that sound right? You agree, Joe? Everybody else on the committee?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's not going away.
No, it's not.
Is that satisfactory, Owen? Does that
Yes,
answer?
maybe I misinterpreted when I read his report, but it sounded like it was going to be studied later in the, maybe in the fall.
Well, yeah.
So as long as I'm not suggesting doing it this year if it can't be done, appropriately, but to study it in preparation for the future, keep it rolling. That's all I could ask.
We're gonna get
Well, that's
we're gonna
definitely
get
going to
a
happen.
couple months under our belt.
Yeah,
Couple months under our belt, and then see where we're at.
absolutely.
That makes sense.
Okay, thank you, Tom. I have a piece of new business. I sent a motion to you to charge $7 to individuals who prefer not to ride with another golfer and wish to ride alone. It's my feeling that the single rider cart thing has been abused, quite frankly, and that the additional work on our staff, wear and tear on the carts, etc., difficulties in running out of carts, warrants, and the fact that the pandemic is ebbing. And if people do not, are concerned about riding in a cart with another golfer, they can wear a mask. But I think and the other issue is many of golf courses in our area are doing similar. They did similar last year. They charged extra for golfers that chose to ride by themselves. So I wrote up this motion. I guess I can bring a motion, right?
No, unfortunately not, no, but I will bring your motion. Let me just pull it right back up. I moved that individuals who prefer not to ride with another golfer and wish to ride alone will be charged a premium single rider fee of an additional $7.
Do we
Is there a
have a
second?
second?
Second.
Okay, discussion. There must be some discussion, no?
I just have questions on I think there was a contradiction between your wording saying that people could wear masks. I thought that in Bobby's report that they said if they're not from the same household, they would be required to wear a mask if they're sharing.
Okay. We can do that.
I don't know, touch base with Bobby if that is in fact the state's regulation or where that report came from, but I'm quite sure he said that they would be required.
Yeah, that report came from the CSGA. I don't see that any different than what was happening last year when it was up to people's choice. If they felt comfortable riding with a friend that, I'm not sure we're going to be the mask police, but yeah, we are recommending that they wear a mask.
Bobby,
That was my
don't
concern.
forget
So
that-
Huh?
don't forget that this year, a lot of people are already vaccinated.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. At the senior population, for sure, I'd say, I don't know exactly how many, but I'd say a good majority of them have already probably been vaccinated.
Right.
States
So
say
that's
over-
another consideration.
Yeah.
The
And
state
golf
said over
golf
50%.
courses all over the state are charging this extra fee. I didn't make a list of them, but many golf courses are.
We're not discussing or disputing the fee, Don. We're disputing whether the mask is required or not. If you're riding with somebody.
as Bobby said, I don't think we want to get involved with, being the mask police.
Right.
If they feel comfortable wearing it. And again, I have a feeling that the need for the single cart because of vaccines is probably going to drop, especially I would assume in the seniors that, everybody's going to be vaccinated and they'll be more comfortable riding in pairs.
Yep.
Can we change it to we strongly encourage you to wear a mask while riding? Or do you have to say required?
We don't even have anything in the motion at all about wearing masks.
We don't
That's
have
just-
to say anything in the motion.
Right.
Just the mo-
We're just voting on the motion, guys.
We don't have to say anything in our motion. It's just-
Yeah, leave it out. Leave it out.
It's not.
Yes, I just moved the motion part, not the discussion part. The discussion part was to create discussion, I believe, on Don's part with that email.
Any
Just-
other comments? Ready for a vote? Okay. All in favor?
Mr. Chairman, Kathleen again, from the First Selectman's Office has her hand raised, so I'm gonna bring her into the meeting.
Excuse me?
Okay.
The first selectman's office would like a word.
She's on mute.
Okay, there,
So I'm mute again.
You're on mute, Kathy. There you go.
okay. Just a question. I'm not a golfer and I don't know how your format goes. Do you have golfers who come up singly to go out by themselves? And do you allow that?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, so would they be charged the $7 if they were coming up by themselves?
No, if it was a threesome and there was one person in a cart, no. If there were two singles that came up and they both wanted to ride, yes, they would both have to go in a cart.
And if, Kathy, if a single comes up to the course to play, and there are 3 people already in a group, they would be asked to put their bags on with another person to make that a foursome in 2 carts normally, in normal time.
Okay, so you can't go up and play by yourself unless there's nobody else to put you with.
Correct, yes.
Makes sense. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that somebody who went up by themselves and there was nobody to join them did not get charged the extra $7 simply because there was nobody else.
They would.
Okay. All right. I'm not a golfer. Maybe someday.
It's only if it, no, it's a good question. That's a good question.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
You can kick me off now, Bill.
Thanks for joining our meeting, Kathy. We're honored. Okay, so we have a motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Up? You're opposed?
You froze.
Diane?
I voted.
You
Which
voted
way?
You,
I voted in favor.
oh, okay, your hand came up when I said, fine, thank you. So it's unanimous. You're breaking up a little bit, that's all. So when you raised your hand, I saw it when I said anybody opposed, that's when I saw you.
No, I did it ahead of time.
So
Pay attention.
you're not moving at the speed of light for some reason. Okay, do we have any other new business?
I just want to remind everybody that we have a lot of new people. Next month, April, we switch to start time of 7:30. Bobby starts giving lessons and all that stuff goes on. So we start at 7:30 next month.
Awesome, awesome. All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All right, you got that one in?
I did.
Come on, we need a second.
Okay.
All right, we're done. I don't think anybody want to stay? No, all in favor.
Take care, everybody.
Adios, goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Thank you, Paul.